Continuous contour drawings of our shoes. We're going to start off with doing a continuous contour drawing of our shoe. I'm going to show you two examples. This one, you can see on this one is mostly continuous. I went back in at that point and did a few dots. I don't want you to do that on this particular drawing. This particular drawing is going to be all continuous. We are not going to lift our pen up at all. It's practice in hand-eye coordination. And this is another one. It's a little larger. But ours are going to be on smaller paper. We're going to use our sketchbook. And as you guys can see, I'm having some issues here with sketchbook paper falling out. I want to show you a little trick. I'm going to get a piece of tape. And then right at the edge, make sure that edge is in there really nicely where the previous piece of paper is falling. I'll put that on a easel so you can see what I'm doing better. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that that piece of paper is just really nice and lined up. And you're going to put a piece of tape that goes halfway on and halfway off your last piece. And that should hold that paper together pretty good. Okay, so once again, because the shoe is long, I'm going to take this and go long ways as I'm doing the drawing. Okay, then you're going to reach down and take your shoe off, whichever shoe, right or left, that's up to you. Okay, so this is the shoe that I'm drawing, and I'm really going to focus on trying to get some of those shoelaces in here. It makes just for more of an interesting shoe. And then you want to be aware that if you do a shoe that's head on, you're going to have what's called foreshortening. Foreshortening is where you can't see the entire object because it goes back into space. Okay? So you know that the shoe is longer than that, okay? But this is foreshortening. I don't want you guys to mess too much with foreshortening right now. So just try and have your shoe nice and long, and you can put it off to the side, and you are going to look just as much at your paper as on your object, and you're not going to be able to see my object as I'm drawing. You're really just going to be able to see my paper as I'm drawing. So when you do this, you want to start with finding a spot, and you want your eye and your hand to be coordinated. They're together. Wherever your eye moves, that's where your pen is going to move on your paper. So find a way to go back in your subject, go around, think about where you can have, texture, where you can come in and you can do certain bumps. Make your drawing more interesting. What's interesting about your shoe? All of the seams and the creases. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this. Make sure you guys have a good view. Okay. See if I can move this off to the side a little bit more so you can actually see a little bit of that shoe. Which that takes my vision off, so I'll have to move it over. Okay, so I'm gonna start, and this drawing, by the time you're done, is not gonna be completely proportional, and that's okay. It's okay if it's a little shaky. Get some of that texture in there, details, that's what makes your drawing interesting. Come back around. No little sketchy marks no fast marks, you're going really nice and slowly as you're moving around. Here's a seam I'm going to come back over. This is all a practice in hand-eye coordination. The more you do these kinds of drawings, the better you're going to get. Okay? It's a good warm-up. When I was in art school, my drawing teachers would have us always start off with whenever we were drawing from life, we would start off with doing a few contour drawings. We'd do some blind contour drawings. Teaches your eye what to see. And then we'd move on and do some continuous contour drawings. go in here and do the tongue of the shoe. It's kind of coming around. I got some shoelaces here. This is about a 5, maybe 10-minute drawing, depending on how slow and careful you decide you want to go. Some people can do these. You know, the shakiness, if your drawings are like mine and they're a little shaky, that can add to the drawing. It can make it more sensitive. The faster you go, the straighter your lines are going to be. Got more shoelaces that come down. Don't feel bad about just drawing over a line that you made a mistake on. If you made a mistake and don't like it, draw over it. It'll make your drawing more interesting and give it more depth. It'll give it more history. And I know these lines aren't exact that I'm doing, they're not perfect, but I'm just doing my best. Trying to make them mimic as much as I can. And then I'm done. There's my drawing. And there's my shoe.